you?
Oh, we've appeared.
We didn't see any intro.
Wow, what happened there? A few technical issues, but anyway, welcome along to the live. Here we are, just to prove that we are live. Just to prove that we are live. We are on YouTube Live from Met Office HQ. Welcome along to the Weather Studio Live this Friday, the last Friday of meteorological spring.
Yes.
I'm Alex Deakin.
Yes, I'm Anna Criswick. No, I'm not Alex Burkill, I promise you.
Wow, this is a great start.
We are on it today.
This is a great start. Shall we start? Yay!
That's me, I promise, I'm Anna, I am Anna.
That's better. Okay, so welcome along to the Weather Studio Live. We'd love your questions. We'll try and answer some of them as we go along. Do hit the thumbs up button if you can, and give us a follow if you're not following us already. And we really want you to get involved. Ask us anything you'd like. We have got a quiz.
Yeah, I'm excited for this quiz.
It's a goodie this week. I know someone, especially who's going to like it. I'll mention them later on.
Oh, okay.
But someone in particular is really going to like it. I know you're going to like it as well. It is a good
I feel
quiz.
a 5 out of 5 coming.
Well, there is I would suggest there is a very good chance of a 5 out of 5.
I really want to be the first one to get 5 out of 5.
I think there's a very good chance you'll get 5 out of 5 today. It's a goodie. It's a belter. And the weather is pretty lively as well, isn't it?
It is,
plenty to discuss.
Yeah, it's been very up and down. There's been a lot of chat in the media headlines about some warm weather on its way, so we're going to take a look to see if there's any truth in that.
What else have you been up to this week? Now, you've been on all kinds of TV channels this week, haven't you?
I have been all over the place. The paparazzi will be outside my door any moment, I'm sure. I thought I was going to be on all the channels because I did some recording with ITV yesterday, but that's not going out till next week.
Okay, but you've been on ITV, BBC, BFBS, as well as the Met Office Challenge, GB News. You've been on all of them.
Yeah, you cannot escape this face.
No, at Channel 5.
Channel 5, yeah.
Good work.
Yeah.
Very good. So it's been a productive week.
It has, I've actually done some work this week,
You've done a lot of work this week.
What about you?
I did the 10-day trend this week. So that was interesting, talking about possible changes next week, more low pressure. We're talking about will we ever see high pressure again?
Yeah.
Keeps moving off into the distance, doesn't it?
We've broken records.
We have, yes.
Had the sunniest spring. Previous record was in 2020. I'm sure we can all remember that spring. We had all that nice weather.
Spring.
Yeah.
We broke that record this week, and we announced that. Was it Wednesday? I can't remember when it was. But the UK has had its. Scotland and Northern Ireland had already had their sunniest spring.
Yeah. Wales
other
has
records
now.
May be broken. Wales was broken yesterday. There'll be all the stats will be coming out on Monday. Because we'll compile the stats for the end of the month, the end of the season, and then they'll all be compiled. There'll be a big press release on Monday. There is a blog going out this afternoon as well about where we're at.
If you can't wait till Monday,
you can get a bit of a tease. So if you search for Met Office blogs on Google, or indeed any other search engine, you will probably find that blog this afternoon. So yes, keep your questions coming in. We've already had lots coming in, but we should mention.
Yes.
We've got a guest, haven't we?
A very special guest.
Or guests, in fact.
Yes, there's 2. This is bigger than the King coming to visit, I've got to say.
This is way bigger.
Yes.
Your dad.
My dad.
Is in the building.
And my younger sister sat next door watching behind the scenes, because it's my dad's birthday tomorrow, so it's a little bit of a treat for them to come down and take a look at what we do.
Happy birthday, Mr. Criswick.
That's right.
And I think we've got a picture of him watching you. Oh, look at that.
We do, holding his brand new nephew and still didn't miss the live. I've even heard a story of when he went to Tesco to go do his shopping and he drove back home just so he didn't miss the live. He's a committed fan.
That is impressive. That is very impressive.
Although I think he does only watch it when I'm on.
What? There'll be words.
Sorry about that.
Well, I suspect your sister Flynn watches when Alex B's, and she's a big fan of Alex B, isn't she?
She's a big fan of Alex B.
She's a big fan of Alex B.
She's not bothered about me. She sees me all the time.
She only watches when Mr. B's on. But he's at a wedding. He's at a wedding this week. I hope it's going well, Mr. Burkill. So yes, we've got special guests. You brought brownies in as well.
I brought brownies in.
I did bring brownies in.
I've been practicing my baking, and I promised every time I was on a live I was going to do some baking. I was going to make flapjacks. Alex wasn't very happy about that, so I brought in brownies
come
instead.
on, flapjacks or brownies, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a
It's
no-brainer.
better than the banana bread, which Alex B got.
Okay, right, keep your questions coming in. We've had a few in already. We had some from last week. We'll look at those quickly, I think, because we had some really interesting questions from last week. Captain Dan.
Oh, yes.
Is an aviation Met observer on the Isles of Scilly. So hello, Dan. Welcome watching from the Isles of Scilly. And thank you for everything you do with your Met observer hat on. Do weather observations from aerodromes contribute to the overall short-term forecast in the UK?
Yeah, they are really helpful, yes. So I've come from an aviation background. I used to forecast for civil aviation, and you are constantly looking at the observations that we're sent in. They're really good to verify the models that we use to make sure what we think was going to happen is actually happening, or if we have any issues, like last week I think one of our radars were out, so then we rely on observations to see if there's any showers or any outbreaks of rain. And also all that data, it gets compiled, we keep it, it goes into kind of our climate records, it helps us with our supercomputer calculations, so they're really, really important and really, really useful when it comes to forecasting.
Yes, so thank you for that, Dan. He also asks, how do we measure cloud heights, or how are cloud heights determined? I mean, there are rules of thumb, aren't there? Depending on the type of cloud, you can generally say it's going to be between there and there. But we actually have cloud-based recorders.
We do,
a lot of stations.
Yeah, they send up a beam. It hits the base of the cloud. That comes back down, and I think it's measured. The base is measured by how long that beam how long it takes for that beam to come back down, something like that.
Yes.
So it can be tricky because obviously that shows us the lower clouds, so it can be a little bit tricky to forecast cloud higher above.
Yeah, it's more accurate for the lower clouds.
Yeah.
But then that's where it's most useful, because it's often the lower base clouds that aviation have issues with.
Exactly,
so that there's certain aircraft have certain limits to what cloud base they can fly through. So that's where it's most crucial to know accurately whether it's usually in feet, isn't it? 800 feet, 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, as to where the cloud base is, as to what aircraft are allowed to fly through. So so a lot of our air bases have cloud-based recorders.
And observing in the dark is a thing. I've had to do that before, and you can't see anything because it's dark. So sometimes you're really reliant on those cloud-based recorders to actually know if there's any cloud around.
Ash31 weather station. Hi, is it possible to buy a Met Office umbrella or merchandise? I don't think it is. I'm guessing you've seen it on our thumbnail.
Yeah, the umbrella.
I
did steal that for the picture. It's not mine. You've got a couple.
I've got a couple at home.
I don't
but
have
I'm
any.
using them for practical reasons.
Obviously.
And filming. We did a little shop in the Met Office. So before COVID, people used to be able to come into the Met Office, so they can't anymore.
We had T-shirts.
And we had, so there was a little bit of merch. Maybe we'll look at doing it, or as Oliver Carmona suggests, they could be prizes for the quiz.
Especially if you get 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Oh, Christian in the West Midlands. What were the strongest winds for Storm Dara? My goodness, Christian, that is an interesting question. We'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm not entirely sure about that one. But overall, so it can change the extreme in some cases. And whenever we publish stats, it's always provisional. They'll always be the provisional stats. And then we'll finalise them when we do have them all in. But if we wait for all of those, then because the media are clamouring, they already want the stats for spring now.
Before the month is even over or the season's over, they want to know what's going on.
Yes. Right, keep your questions coming in. Here's one. Oscar King, what are the thunderstorm chances the next few weeks? And we had a question also last week about thunderstorms. Lexi 20255, will we have big thunderstorms in southern UK? So,
good question.
Thunderstorm risk.
Shall I go up to the board?
Yes,
let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh, I'll try not to trip over my mic as I do so.
Apparently it's all gone a bit weird today. So Rich is saying next door that sorry if you've had some dropouts, but I think we're back now.
That's what we love about these Weather Studio Lives.
Well, again, just proving
keeps us on our toes.
Just proving that we're live.
Okay, so the questions were around thunderstorms. So let's take a look at the bigger picture around what the weather's doing over the next few days. So here we are on Friday. I'm just going to take the jet stream off for a second. So we have seen some cloud outbreaks of rain, all thanks to this system slowly sinking its way southeastwards. For a time, things are going to settle down. But if we move our way over to Saturday, so we'll see a brief ridge, and then we've got something else moving through into the northwest on Saturday. See a slight the isobars slightly moving together a little bit, so some breezier weather on its way, and also low pressure bringing in some frontal systems. So more outbreaks of rain on their way Saturday morning. Now, some of this could be quite could be a little bit convective. So there is a chance that as this system moves its way into the northwest Saturday morning that it could potentially see some thundery outbreaks, but it's really into the afternoon on Saturday. Let me just... You know, I've realised I've not done a studio live in a couple of weeks, and I've got to remember how to use all of this.
The buttons. They've all got nice, pretty pictures on, but
yeah, I wanted to do just the one. Oh,
that's it. Take that one off.
Yeah. Just wanted to have one big one, but anyway, I'll just show you like this. So yeah, Saturday afternoon is where we could potentially see some thunderstorms, mainly across eastern, northeastern parts of England. It's getting quite warm on Saturday, so a chance that we could see the odd isolated thundery outbreak across the northeast. But it's really getting quite warm across the southeast on Saturday afternoon. We're starting to see some warm air moving through there. But the main thunderstorm risk is initially on Saturday across the northwest, and then later into the afternoon across the northeast. Now, there's been a lot in the media so far about temperatures as we head into next week. There's been talks, I've got some examples here, there's been some talks of a Caribbean plume and a Caribbean jet stream. I've not heard of that one myself. Also talks of the Spanish plume coming up from the south. So I just wanted to talk about that quickly, because with that kind of setup, we get warm temperatures and then we normally see a thundery breakdown, which is why I'm sure some thunder questions have come up. Now, what these kind of media outlets tend to look at, they look at what some free websites that you can get, and they tend to look at, for example, this is from Weather Charts, they tend to just look at one model run, and if you're part of our Met Office audience, you know that we don't really do that at the Met Office. We don't just look at one model output, we tend to look at a few different models. We also use ensemble data, where we run a model multiple times with different initial conditions, and that shows us the different possibilities that we can see in our weather. So yes, this is one model output showing a warm plume moving up from the southeast. It indicates we could possibly see temperatures reaching 30 degrees. However, this is just one output, and actually, if we take a look at a few more, so this is some ensemble data, this is what we call postage stamps, so we run that model over and over again, and it shows us the different possibilities, and yes, there are some. Taking a look at the first four here, up in the top left, you can see that some are indicating a warm plume moving up across the southeast, some even stretching further into northeast England, and yes, that could bring the possibility of temperatures, high 20s, low 30s, and eventually even some thunderstorms as a result of that warm, humid air. But not all of these outcomes are showing us the same picture. For example, here we have member 13, member 14, 15, 16, also showing actually no warm air at all clipping into the southeast, and it keeps it towards Europe. So there are some outputs suggesting that we could see some warmer temperatures into next week, but there's still quite a lot of uncertainty. Until we see a few more of these models or these model runs agreeing, we can't really pinpoint exactly if we're going to start to see those temperatures next week. And if we do, it's likely that it'll just be a blip rather than any sustained settled conditions with high temperatures.
Yeah, and those ensembles, they're called postage stamps. For obvious reasons, because they look like an old sheet of stamps. I mean, it really tells the story there. You've got 50 there, and there's a handful of them showing some warmth into the southeast. So and you can kind of convert that into a percentage. So if there's 5 of them out of the 50 showing the warm air, that's what, a 10% chance, which means there's a 90% chance of the heat not getting into the southeast. So that's how we can use ensembles to actually inform our decisions based on the future as well. And that's how we do those longer range forecasts for anything beyond about 4 to 7 days. That's much more useful than just looking at one computer model that shows it hot and saying, oh, it's definitely going to be hot. That's not how longer range forecasts work. Martin Baines, who asked about the stats on Monday, I think the feed dropped out and he missed his answer.
No.
So Martin, just to reiterate the answer from that, yes, some stations do take a little longer to get their observations in, but that won't affect the overall average, certainly over a whole season for one site very much. But always the stats when they're published are just the provisional stats as well. We will firm up on the final stats later on, but people really want to know the stats as soon as they can, so we will compile the provisional stats based on all the data that we have. And yeah, 1 or 2 sites are generally a bit slower to report sometimes, but that will eventually get fed into the full stats. Hope that answers your question. But yeah, well, I think we're back up and running. Everything is fine. Been a bit glitchy today, but you know, it's all part of the fun, isn't it? It's all part of the fun. So yeah, keep your questions coming in, and we will try and answer them, as many of them as we can, and we'll have the quiz in a second as well, which is a good one.
Yeah.
James Brinklow, what monthly temperature do you think will take the longest to be beaten? That's an interesting question, isn't it? What monthly temperature record do you think will take longest to be beaten? Ooh. I have to think about that one, James. It's a good question. Well,
so out of all our records for each month?
Yeah, I mean, we've broken...
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We've had I think, is it something like 6 or 7 of the 12 months of the year have had their warmest since 2000. Yeah. So that's strong evidence of climate change there, that you know, things are definitely warming up. But yeah, interesting question, James.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Yeah. Gordon asks, will you show the postage stamp view on the Met Office website? Some other model runs you show the 10-day trend and this show. Yeah, I don't think we don't show the postage stamps generally on our website and stuff like that.
No, we put them in a lot of our longer range videos.
Yes.
10-day trends. We have a 14-day outlook which goes out on our app. That's done on a Tuesday and a Friday. Deep dive, sometimes we show them. But yeah, I don't think we really let them loose on our website.
And one of the reasons is because they can be easily misinterpreted. El Meerkat, what have the pollen levels been like?
Ooh.
Well, the grass pollen levels have been rising. Yeah. I noticed this week we were going for some high levels, but it's very temperature dependent, the pollen levels. It is. So yeah, we've seen levels rising over recent times. We're getting into the grass pollen season. So tree pollen was really high, and that season kept on going for a long time. Ooh, look at that.
I remembered how to do it.
Yeah, that's impressive.
You can take a look at some pollen levels.
Oh, look at that.
That is pollen. Yeah, pollen. So it's quite low, but obviously this is where we've had quite a lot of rain across the north and northeast, where it's been a little bit drier. Those pollen levels are a bit higher. So this is for today. Move over to Saturday. Looks fairly similar. Sunday, all starting to increase across Wales to moderate, but it's probably going to remain low in the north.
And then Tuesday, Wednesday dropped. There's some wet weather probably coming in from the west there as well. But high levels certainly across parts of the south. Grass pollen season really gets going as we get into June, so it will be kind of peaking. There's 2 peaks in the grass pollen season. It peaks kind of early to mid-June, and then it peaks again in July. It's very temperature dependent. So yeah, again, if you sign up to our app, you can get free alerts. Yeah, you get a little notification every morning.
And if you want to learn more about pollen, we have a pollen evergreen done by me.
We do have there's a pollen video on our
everything you need to know about pollen
channel. And there's also a video about tornadoes on there, which we'll pop in the chat. Hopefully we'll pop both of them in the chat. But Crompton48 mentioned last week, about the week before, saying on Wednesday we did mention tornadoes. There's a risk of tornadoes, and what kind of conditions would create tornadoes in the UK. I'm presuming there's similar kind of set-up air masses. And kind of right. We tend to get with the most frequent tornadoes on the back edge of a cold front, which marks the boundary between air masses. Generally in this country, they come from thunderstorms. You need the right kind of thunderstorm. You need the right kind of wind shear, not too much. Wind shear is the change of wind with height and direction. And yeah, you don't need too much because otherwise the thunderstorms get blown away. You need just enough to create a bit of rotation. But yeah, in the chat we'll put a link to an explainer all about tornadoes, which we actually get quite a lot in this country.
It's about 30 a year, says on our website. I've never seen one. Yeah, it's about 30 a year.
And per square mile of country, we're right up towards the top. And it's Alex B explains more in the video.
Yeah, it's a good video.
The Netherlands gets a ridiculous amount as well per square metre, more so than the United States. Yeah. Which is interesting. Obviously over there they get bigger ones.
I'd love to see one from a safe distance.
Would you? Oh, I would, be terrified.
Yeah.
Oh look, George has popped both the pollen and the tornado explainer in the chat. Danielle, 7th or 8th of June, which is the best day for beach near Haverfordwest?
Ooh.
Danielle. So 7th, 8th of June, that's what, next weekend?
Next weekend. Okay, so you want
It's
to
probably too early to be too specific about the days. What I would say, Danielle, is stay up to date next week. But what are the prospects?
Yeah,
for next week?
so this is kind of what we call a stacked probability chart, showing kind of the probability of either low or high pressure taking hold. The blue colours generally low pressure. For example, the lighter blues are low pressure towards the south, and the kind of reds and orange, yellows, that's high pressure. So, for example, this yellow colour is an Azores high extension, which is something similar that we've had earlier in spring, which is why we've had such dry conditions. So we can see for most of this is for the next couple of weeks. We can see most of the time we've got blue colours dominating, so low pressure, so an increased chance of rain and also some showers. But notice as we head towards the kind of second week, there are hints that some areas of high pressure may take hold. And I was actually chatting to one of our chief meteorologists earlier, because I'm doing the 14-day outlook later. And there are hints that we could see some high pressure building towards the middle part of June. But at the moment, it does look like that's largely going to be confined to the south, any dry, settled weather. It's not going to be like what we've had over the last few weeks, high pressure across much of the country, bringing lots of dry weather, lots of sunshine. And it's probably going to be across the north and northwest where we see outbreaks of rain, potentially some wet and windy weather and some showers. So, I mean, there's hints that we could see something a little bit calmer, potentially towards later next week, probably the week after. But it's probably going to be confined to the south. But bearing that in mind, when it's a showery day, you get lots of sunny spells in between. So, depends if you want to risk it.
And Haverfordwest, I reckon, there could be some ridging coming in across the south for the following weekend. So there's a reasonable chance, but it's too early to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over a week away. So
ask us next week.
Exactly. I watched the week ahead on Monday. Watched the 10-day trend on Wednesday, and you'll have a much better idea.
Yeah.
Or ask us direct on here next Friday during the live. But thank you for your question, Danielle. Someone else asking about next weekend as well in Bridlington. I've lost it now. Nick O'Connell. I know it's a bit far ahead, but will the weather be like in Bridlington next Saturday? And is it unusual to have strong winds in May? We've had a lot of chats about the winds. It was really quite blustery yesterday, wasn't it? Across some parts of the UK. Really,
it was actually.
It wasn't exceptional. We get low pressure systems in May, but you tend to get the strongest winds in autumn and winter, because that's when there's the biggest contrast between the North Pole and the tropics, so you get a more active jet stream. The jet stream's been pretty weak, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is why we've had high pressure, but the jet stream's got its act together a bit, which is why we've got low pressure, which is why it's been windy. But I didn't think the winds caused too many issues yesterday. It was just
it was just because it hasn't been windy in a while, so everyone was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, I think that was it. People were just a bit surprised because they hadn't seen it. So Bridlington next Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, like Alex has said, it's probably still a bit too early to say, but we can have a look at what the model is suggesting, and there's the potential. It's probably going to be kind of low pressure to the north, as I say, high pressure to the south. So it really depends whereabouts you sit. But take a look at all these percentages. They're still fairly low. So even as we get up to next weekend, it's probably going to change. So I wouldn't want to give you anything definite. But yeah, there's a chance of some brighter spells.
With a westerly, Bridlington's in a good place, right? Bridlington's going to be some of the driest, brightest weather, I would have thought, unless you get that plume and you get some heavy thundery showers. I think Bridlington's suffered from an easterly wind for most of April, most of May, so it's looking pretty good for Bridlington, I'd say, next, given that you're most likely to have a westerly. So I would say there's a pretty good chance it's going to be all right in Bridlington. Bridlington's just lovely any time of year. Sea's a bit chilly, but there you go. Conman Thompson asking about thunderstorms. Already talked about that a little bit, haven't we? There is the chance of some showers on Monday, but generally Monday's ridging, isn't it? Yeah,
that is a good point, actually. Let's go over to...
We'll do the quiz in a second, by the way. So, coming up soon.
I pressed that button before. It didn't work, I swear. Here we go. So here's Monday. So, it's really changeable next week. We've got rain one moment, then a ridge of high pressure, and then the next day there's further rain. So it is changeable. We use that word I feel like I use that word quite a lot, but there is a reason. Obviously, you can see that already. It's a fairly decent day on Monday, but rain is not far away. So later Monday to Tuesday, we could see further outbreaks of rain, and it looks like it could be quite heavy and quite windy once again for some. But Monday, you can see it looks half decent, perhaps a bit more cloud, particularly across Northern Ireland as that front comes in, possibly into Scotland, a few showers here. Now, there is a risk of showers on Monday, but it's really tricky to pinpoint where exactly they are. It's changed day by day. Yesterday, they looked like there was quite a lot in the south. Today, they look a bit more in the southeast. So there's still a bit of uncertainty as to exactly where the showers are. But for most, it's probably going to be a fairly decent day. Maybe just keep your brolly handy in case you're unlucky and catch one. But for most, maybe just cloud thickening up into the afternoon in the very far west or across Scotland. But for many areas, it should be fairly decent, just with that ridge of high pressure building from the south. So
yeah, and actually, much of this weekend is going to be all right across the south.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about showers, and because it's very different to what it's been like. But
Yeah.
actually, most of the weekend across East Anglia and the southeast is going to be dry,
Yeah.
fine and sunny. We could probably
quite
do with the
warm.
rain. Some people want the rain.
Yeah, that's true.
And the big change will be the humidity and the warmth.
Yeah, Saturday is probably going to be the peak of the heat, 26, 27 degrees possible across East Anglia, and that's where we're going to see the best of the sunshine as well. So, I don't know, I'm not always a fan of that weather when it starts to feel quite humid, but if you're okay with that, would rather have that than rain, then that's what...
You don't like it hot?
No, I know, I like it hot, but when it's humid.
Oh, okay.
It's just the humidity.
Okay, right.
Yeah, no, I like the sunny weather.
Specific about the weather.
Yeah, I've got very high standards, Alex. What can I
from a distance.
Yeah, and the hot weather.
Which Nice Snack agrees with you as well.
Yeah,
Seeing
see?
a proper tornado from a safe distance is on Nice Snack's bucket list as well.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. But yeah, Sunday looks, once again, it is a bit of a mix. Still plenty of cloud across Scotland. Still some showery outbreaks. Sometimes they tend to merge, bring some slightly longer spells of rain. Still quite breezy as well. And you can see here, once again, there's a risk of showers. Once again, just pinpointing exactly where they are. We'll probably have to do that a little bit closer to the time. But still, across the southeast, that's probably where, once again, we're going to see the best of the brightness. And I think I can get some temperatures up. Here we go.
There we go.
So we can see that warmer air across the southeast already, just by that colour change. So 26, possibly 27 on Saturday. And then things starting to turn a little bit fresher from kind of Sunday onwards, but still temperatures in the low 20s. But through the course of next week, we'll start to feel things feel fresher, feel a bit cooler. It's not going to be quite as humid across the south, so yay for me.
Right, almost quiz time. One quick question from Chris King, Heritage Railway. How many apps does the Met Office have? I know of one, but I've seen on Facebook about a new look app for the Met Office.
Oh!
Wow. It's coming. There is only one.
Yeah.
But there is a new one coming. So you're across it, Chris. There is only one at the moment, but a new one is in development.
That is true. It's
exciting.
exciting.
So it is exciting, yes. Yes. So, yeah, watch this space. Yeah. But a new one is potentially coming at some point.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we do it?
Is it time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Made it.
You made it back up onto the stool and everything in time while the quiz music was playing. Right, it's quiz time. Slightly different one this week. It's going to be a visual quiz this week, and everyone loves quiz time, don't they?
Yeah,
everyone
it's my
loves
favourite bit.
Now, I think you're going to like this. This was your idea, I'm going to say.
I was just seeing if you were going to admit it or not.
Definitely your idea. I thought it was a good idea. But I want to. It's for you.
Yeah.
But there's a chap called Alan Chand who has followed me on Twitter for a long time. And I know for a fact that he will be loving this quiz.
Oh, okay.
And Alan, if you don't get 5 out of 5, then something's gone seriously wrong. So no pressure, Alan, but I want 5 out of 5 from you. I think there's a good chance you'll get 5 out of 5.
Come on.
Alan used to follow me on Twitter back 15 years ago. I used to do a thing called Choose a Tie Tuesday. I put 3 ties up and people could vote for their tie. And I would wear that on a Tuesday. Well, we don't have ties anymore, right? So that's exactly.
You don't wear a tie.
Yeah, so we used to do Choose a Tie back when Twitter was fun. We used to do a thing called Choose a Tie, and Alan was a big fan. So I'm just mentioning him because he will love this particular quiz, which is all about whose item of clothing is this.
Okay.
So I've been rummaging around the wardrobe next door, mine, Alex B's, and Aidan's garments, shall we say. And I've got some images.
Okay.
The quiz is, who does it belong to?
Okay.
So
I don't know if I'm going to be good at this or not, actually.
Well, we'll see, won't we? We will see. So we can put the first one up now. Okay. Whose garment is that? Is it A, mine, B, Alex B's, C, Aiden's, or D, none of the above? I want to keep 4 options in.
So it could be a random
It could just be a random bit of my sofa at home.
I recognise... Great sofa, if that is where that's come from.
Is that my shirt, Alex B's shirt, Aiden's shirt, or a pair of curtains from somewhere? This is. Let us know if you like it. Oh, you put that in. Okay, you've formalised your answer.
I've gone for it.
Let us know if you can. You can answer the poll if you want to, or you can just put your answer in the chat as well. Let us know what you think.
I recognise it.
You recognise it. Well, that's good. That's good. You've been paying attention. You recognise it. Okay. That's question 1.
Okay.
47% saying Aiden. 16% saying none of the above.
Ooh.
22% saying me. 12% saying Alex B. Interesting. Question 1. Right. Question 2 or picture 2. This is an easy one, I think. This is an easy one. Yeah.
Is that a blazer?
Well, it's a garment. I mean, I don't want to give too much away.
I think I have seen that before.
Garment is that? Is it A, mine, B, Alex B's, C, Aiden's, D, none of the above?
Just checking your shirt.
Yeah, I'm not wearing one of the ones. I did have to think though. Yeah, make sure.
Oh, I have seen that before, but I don't know whose it is.
Do you know who's doing well at this quiz? Well, do you know who's gutted he's missing it? Alex B for a start.
Yeah.
I reckon Aiden will be doing well at this quiz. But yeah, what do you think of that one? Is that mine, Alex B's, Aiden's, or none of the above? I've seen it, but I can't think where I've seen it. I can't think where you've seen it.
Yeah.
Seen it on a Met Office
weather
video. Or have you? Yeah. I was tempted to get one of your leopard print.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe one will come up in question 3.
Okay.
Yeah, keep your answers coming in. Keep your guesses coming in on the polls. Question 2 is Alex B is favourite, 31% of that. 27% saying none of the above. That's jumped up.
Ooh, no, I think I've seen that before.
Only 18% think that I would wear something like that. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Garment 3.
Okay.
Garment 3.
Oh, I think I recognise that one.
A floral number. Very floral. Who do you think that was? Is that me? I mean, this was your idea.
I'm changing my mind now.
You were very confident at the start.
I know, I was.
Is that
now I'm not sure.
My item, Alex B's item, Aiden's item, none of the above.
It's not Alex B. You've thrown me off with the none of the above, huh?
Well, okay, fine. So, I only want to put that into there's 4 to keep there's 4 options, because I know you and Alex only do 3 options, so I'll wait to make sure.
I know, we do. I'm going to do 5 now for your next quiz.
Right, you've committed to an answer. Let us know. Put your answers in the poll.
Now I feel like I'm getting them all wrong. Stress.
Don't get stressed. Don't get stressed. It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, that's
just a bit of fun.
Taking it too seriously.
No one's going to judge except for Alan Chan. Alan Chan doesn't do very well in this. I'm coming out top in this one. 41%.
You
saying that was me.
So
for
everyone's
item 3.
answers are kind of agreeing with me.
Yep. Alex B only gets 16% on that one. Aiden gets 25%.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Samuel says none of the above. Gordy B says Aiden. Craig McD 1402 says Axel F. Well, maybe it is an Axel F shirt. No, Axel F isn't. Anyway, okay. Question 4. Item 4. Let's have a look at number 4. Now this is a tricky one.
That is tricky.
That is a tricky one. I will give you that. I will grant you that is a tricky one, because at least one member of the team more than one person has a shirt similar to that. I will say. So this is a tricky one. I did raise. I thought the first 3 were a bit easy, so I've raised it here. This is a tricky one.
I don't know.
Who does that belong to? Garment number 4. It's a spotty number.
I don't think it's Birkhill. I could see you wear it. Yeah, because you and Aiden have you go for like patterns.
Well, we all go for patterns. That's the beauty of the quiz.
Oh,
Just remind you, it was your idea.
I know, I'm regretting it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't know.
You've committed your answer via Teams. That is good. Let me know what you think in the chat. What's everyone saying?
Oh, I think I want to change it.
I think the vote is closed.
The vote is closed.
You've put your answer. Well, you sure you want to change it?
I don't
You can change it if you want.
I don't know. Taking this very seriously.
41% say Aidan for that one. 27% say none of the above. Ooh, that's coming in second for that one. Okay, fifth and final one.
Okay.
It isn't one of your leopard skin prints. This is also a tricky one, isn't it?
It's a bit blurry.
Mostly because it's not very in focus. Yeah. Sorry about that.
So taken by you then.
Yeah.
What even is that?
It's
That's not a shirt, is it?
the material has got bugs on it. I'll give you that. They're little bugs.
It almost looks like a glass window.
Well, none of the above is one of the answers, but
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
there you go.
No idea.
Whose is that
this
one?
Is
This is the
hard. I thought
final
this would
one.
be easier.
The final one. It is that A, mine, B, Alex B's, C, Aidan McGivern's, or D, none of the above.
Bugs. Who likes
Someone's
bugs?
saying it looks like a pillowcase.
Yeah.
Chazando LFC says it looks like a pillowcase. Can Honor's dad and sister announce the answer? Oh, Oliver Carmona, that's a good idea. They want your dad and sister to announce the answers. It looks like my dad's. Wild Violet edition. It looks like my dad's. Is that a compliment? Is that a compliment or not?
I feel like I need to wear some funkier clothes.
Yeah, well, So yeah, question 5. That is the final one.
I don't think I've actually done very well here. I don't think I've got 5. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
It was your idea, wasn't it? It was your idea to do that.
I know.
Well,
Regrets.
Let's see. Okay. Question 1 or picture 1. Can we put them? Maybe hopefully we can put them back up to remind me of whose is what.
Quick.
Oh, there we go. Now you put Aidan for this.
Is it not?
It's not.
Is
Aidan's.
it you?
No, it's not mine.
Is it Alex B?
It's Alex B. He was wearing it yesterday.
Was it?
That is the shirt he was wearing yesterday, and you were in the office yesterday.
I know, that's embarrassing.
Well, I mean, I'm not very observant, but
I didn't see him a lot yesterday. In my defence. Oh no, I could have sworn that was. Are you sure you guys don't swap and share?
Question 1. We're all different sizes. Question 1 was Alex B.
Oh.
Yes.
5 out of 5's out the window.
It's gone. Straight off the bat, it has gone. Item number 2. I can't believe this one. You didn't know this one.
Yeah. Who is it?
That is an Aidan McGivern
Is it
special.
really?
Yeah, it's his jacket. He's got a funky jacket.
Oh,
Like that.
I thought so. I've got those 2 the wrong way round.
Yes,
then.
you have. You
Oh
have.
no!
You are 0
I
for
did
2.
recognise. I feel like I've made fun of that before.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought that was a given. I thought it was a shoe in that one. I thought I'd go quite obvious for the first couple.
No.
The shirt Alex was wearing yesterday, and then Aidan's snazzy paisley
Clearly not
affair.
very observant as a person.
Oh
no!
It gets better. It does get better for you. I'll give you a clue. You're not going to end up with 0 from 5.
Oh, thank God.
Because your third answer, you suggested this floral number was mine, and that is correct.
See, I then thought I got that wrong, and I thought it was Aidan, and I almost changed it.
Changed it. No, you got that right.
Okay.
That is my floral shirt. I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, well done if you put me for that one. Question 4, picture 4. Now this was a tough one.
Yeah.
But you ruled out the person's whose it is.
No.
You said that's definitely not Alex B's, but it is Alex B's.
I don't know why I always imagine him wearing plainer clothes.
Well, it's quite small, that spottiness.
Yeah.
That was it. He was wearing that shirt on last week's live. I do have one very similar to that.
Yeah.
So that's why that was a tricky one. But
terribly.
Alex B's. And the final one, number 5, the one with the bugs on. Sorry about the quality of the picture on that one. You got that one right.
Yeah.
So you got mine. You got the 2. You got my 2 right. That was mine. That was Alex D's. Let us know how you got on in the quiz.
Oh, I'm gutted with that.
Sorry.
Gutted.
Well, we can do it again, right?
I think we should do that every week.
Maybe we'll do it with ties, because there are some ties next door that we have.
I can't do
So we'll
it.
do it with
No one
ties.
can, unless I get you to guess what day I wore it. I don't know. Is that weird?
Yeah. Yeah, a bit weird. Let us know how you did. 2 correct guesses. He. What is this drivel? Thought it was about weather. Sorry, Gabriel Tanner. Sorry.
Oh, make it more weather themed next week.
We'll make it more weather themed next week. The weather shirts. It's all part of the fun. Sorry. So close. 4 out of 5. George got 4 out of 5 on the Met Office. Account.
Better than me. Better than me.
Yeah, I mean he records.
Oh,
us,
someone
so
got 5.
Hazel got none. Hazel. Oh, sorry.
Howard got 5.
Who got 5?
Oh, I've no idea. Maybe 5 out of 5. Oh, I don't know.
I have no idea. Maybe 5 out of 5. It's a bit of fun, Gabrielle. Yeah, it is just a bit of fun. I think she's only joking. I don't think she might.
I love a picture round. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. A fun quiz. So yeah, split opinion. Well done. It was trickier than we thought it was going to be.
It was.
Wasn't it?
I'm so gutted.
Be interested to know how Alex and Aidan got on when we see them next.
Yeah.
And some of them we're doing. Who's doing the live next week?
Do you know? I was thinking that. I can't remember. I think it's me.
I think it's you and Alex B. I'm going to check the rotor. Look.
Yeah, but I think I'm on the screen again.
You and Alex B. Yeah, you are. Yeah. So it's Honor and Alex next week, which will be the first one of meteorological summer. Yeah. Because summer starts on Sunday.
Yes.
For us meteorologists, climatologists.
Yeah.
Someone can start however you want. Nothing gets people more annoyed than when we tell them the seasons have changed. But get ready for summer. Make sure you are ready. And there's loads of really good advice to prepare for hot weather, to prepare for thunderstorms on the Met Office website. So get weather ready. Another thing to promote, Spotify, our Spotify channel, which is doing really well. And
we don't sing on it, don't worry. It's just our videos.
There's no quiz on it either.
There's no quiz.
Which some people, Gabrielle would probably appreciate that. There's no quiz. But yeah, on our Spotify channel, you can watch all of our main broadcasts, things like the 10-day trend. Are you doing the 10-day trend? No, Alex B is doing the 10-day trend next week.
I'm doing deep dive next week.
You're doing the deep dive.
A special deep dive all about satellites. It's going to be good.
It is going to be good. It's going to be
started working on it already. Normally we don't look at them till...
On it, it's going to be out of this world.
Oh, that was a good one.
See what I did
I like
there?
that. That was good.
So yeah, special deep dive all about satellites next week. Yep. You'll be doing the week ahead as well, will you, on Monday?
I will.
And stuff like that. And there's a special event at Met Office HQ that I'm hosting next week as well, with biscuits. So I'm looking forward to hosting that. WhatsApp. That's one more thing. So, check out our WhatsApp channel as well. We post lots of stuff on there as well. So if you're on WhatsApp, most people are, you can join us on the community tab, and we post lots of stuff in there as well, including I made a little video before we started this, so you can get a behind the scenes view of that.
Yeah.
Right, it's almost bang on 1 o'clock. I think that's it. Thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you for being involved, and thank you for taking part in the quiz, and have a smashing weekend.
Yes, enjoy. Thanks for watching.